know that feeling? You open a site, scroll a feed, read the comments, and it feels hollow, not dead. Worse, like a mall that still has lights on, but no one's really shopping. If it feels like you're talking into an empty room online, you're not imagining it. Because the internet crossed a line. Bots are now the majority. Imperva's latest bad bot reporting shows automated traffic hit 51% of all web traffic, meaning humans became the minority online. So yes, you're standing in a crowded room, but more than half the people in it are mannequins. And the scary part? This isn't a glitch. It's not a temporary spam wave. It's a highly profitable system, and the web is being rebuilt to serve it. Let's make the 51% real. That 51% isn't one thing. It's a split. Imperva breaks it down like this. 14% good bots. Crawlers, indexing, the boring stuff. 37% bad bots. Automation designed to exploit, scrape, defraud, and manipulate. That 37% matters because it means a huge portion of what looks like demand online is synthetic pressure. And the reason it exploded is brutally simple. AI made bot building cheap. Imperva explicitly ties the shift to the rapid adoption of AI and LLMs, lowering the barrier to entry. Modern bots don't behave like the old ones. They don't click like robots. They mimic real browsing patterns, real session timing, real fingerprints, real human-looking behavior. So the web is filled with human-shaped traffic. It looks alive, but it isn't. And when fake life becomes the majority, every system designed to measure real life starts to fail. Ads, analytics, pricing, popularity, trends. All of it becomes contested territory. Now the real question, if bots are the majority, what are they even looking at? Here's the reveal. They're not looking at the internet, you see. They don't care about your layout, your typography, your glossy buttons. In the Imperva data, 44% of advanced bot traffic targets APIs, the back-end endpoints, versus 10% targeting web applications. Meaning, the front of the store can look beautiful, but the loading dock is where the action is. This is why the web feels hostile now. Endless prove you're human gates, broken search rate limits, random logouts, friction everywhere. Because engineers aren't just building for users anymore. They're building to feed machines and fight machines. And then there's the newer layer, the one that makes the whole thing feel personal. AI systems aren't just scraping to learn, they're scraping to replace your visit. Tolbit's State of the Bots reporting says that by Q4 2025, publisher sites saw roughly 1 AI bot visit for every 31 human visits, up from 1 in 200 in Q1 2025. Because that's the actual dislocation. The bot isn't just stealing content, it's becoming the proxy customer, a stand-in for you. It ingests the page, answers you somewhere else, so you never arrive. Convenient, fast, and quietly, it moves the center of the internet away from humans. When bots flood airline sites, ticket pricing stops making sense. The bots aren't buying, they're just checking. Over and over, thousands of times per second. Imperva's research shows how this works. Bots inflate what the industry calls look-to-book ratios, the gap between people checking prices and people actually buying tickets. So the airline's algorithm thinks demand is spiking. Prices rise. Real travelers pay more. Some bots even hold seats in their cart without buying, just to manipulate availability. They call it seat spinning. When news sites get scraped by AI bots, the damage goes beyond lost traffic. Those bots are feeding language models. The models spit out answers, and fewer people ever click through to the actual article. Search results start to feel like noise, synthetic summaries of summaries. The original journalism buried. When bots pollute ad metrics, platforms lose their ability to measure attention. If half your views are fake, you can't trust the data. So the platforms adapt. They don't try to remove the bots, they just squeeze harder. More emotional content, more outrage, more hooks designed to prove a real human is watching. Imperva calls this out directly. Bot-driven fraud is distorting pricing, skewing marketing data, and forcing platforms to optimize for intensity over truth. Here's how it works. Bots don't get tired. They don't get bored. They don't close the tab and walk away. A bot can watch 1,000 videos in a row without breaking stride. So when platforms try to measure attention, the numbers get polluted. Half the views might not even be human. And when you can't trust your metrics, you start optimizing for the wrong thing. You stop asking, is this good? You start asking, does this force a reaction? Because reactions, emotional reactions, are the only proof a real person is still there. So the algorithm learns to prioritize what works: outrage, fear, threats to your identity, conflict. Not because it's evil, because that's what survives the noise. Not because the platform hates you. Because humans are the only users whose attention can be monetized with emotion. So if you felt more exhausted lately, more irritable, more like everything is yelling just to make you flinch, that's not you failing. That's a system adapting. First, if the internet feels emptier lately, that's not in your head. You're not getting cynical. You're not imagining it. You're noticing a shift. The room you're in, the comment sections, the replies, the engagement, it's not mostly human anymore. Second, you're going to see more friction, more prove you're human checks, more logins, more verification gates. And I know, it's annoying, but it's not because companies want to make your life harder. It's because they're trying to figure out who's real. They're filtering noise, separating actual people from the bots pretending to be people. Third, there's a new kind of scarcity online. It used to be attention. Now it's something deeper. It's human presence that can be verified, that can't be faked, real, provable. You. The web is splitting in two. There's the machine layer, infinite content, synthetic voices, optimized engagement, fast, cheap, everywhere. And then there's the human layer, slower, smaller, harder to scale, but real. The question isn't whether this split is happening, it's already happening. The question is, which layer do you end up living in? The old internet was built on a simple assumption. When someone visits a website, that someone is a person. That assumption is dead. Now the default visitor is a machine. And humans, we're becoming the exception. The premium category. A verified minority. So the question changes. It's not, are bots here anymore? They're here. That fight's over. The question now is, when the internet can't tell what you are, how do you prove you're real? Because what's coming next isn't just more bot traffic. It's identity as infrastructure. Last episode, we mapped the auction that happens under every page load. the sub-second system deciding what you see. This is what happens when the room fills with machines, and the system needs a stricter definition of real. Next episode, we go one layer higher. Not passwords, not CAPTCHAs. The quiet systems being built right now to decide who counts as human online. And what happens to the people who can't prove it